To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to be Gough, Gough, Gough or Gough. I said about Shakespeare is pretty Gough stuff. Anyway, let's start off with My Grenade of Carolina Reaper. Because I'm just going to burble on today, so I can have a sip now and then. Flipping lovely. Anyway, yeah, I did say I was going to do this video a few weeks back. Since I said it, and unknown to me, it was maybe knocking around just a little bit before, I don't know. It all seems to happen. There's a bit of a rumpus on YouTube and places at the moment about Goughs and fashion and style and buying from big companies or not buying big companies, DIY, whatever. And I did say that I was going to do a video on, well, not on, because I'm not going to do anything, but talking about doing a little bit more DIY, because I'm a you can tell this is freaking life, can't you? Without a script. I'm a bit of a DIY fanatic. I like to do it, whether it's a bit of clothing, whether it's things around me, whatever. That is me. But I do this every now and then because this is topics that are dear to me within the Gough subculture. Because sometimes I find things are sort of going along, other times they get a little bit more rocky. Sometimes I start hitting flipping plateaus and doing all sorts of weird things. And there's a lot going on at the moment, and it's talking about selling online, Gough selling online, Gough's buying from, the selling online. Now, purpose of this video isn't to tell anyone what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy. If you want to buy from companies that probably are Gough, companies that profess to be Gough but they're not, it's just them using the Gough tag to put the stuff out there. They'll make a lot of money and then they'll move on to the next better thing that makes money once it dies down. But I just wanted to have a little bit of a look at that, not in any great detail, and put it into the context of what's my favourite things that I always talk about, and that is generally younger Goughs coming in, older Goughs that are still there, or older Goughs that through life, careers, whatever, veered off and get to a certain age and it's still there. If you're Gough, you're Gough. And you can veer off how the hell much you like, but you will veer back again. It's like a flipping homing pigeon you own back. Because Gough isn't just about what you see on there, what you read on there, what's here, what's there. It encompasses just about everything, and it's here. It is part of you. It's what always say, if you want to know if what you are, look back when you were younger, what you was doing, and if that ever really left you. There's a lot of people come into golf younger, a little bit older, they're there for a while, they veer off, and they'll never come back because they weren't really golf to the core in the first place. They may be there because they like the music to some degree, they might be there because they love the whole outlook of it, some of the clothing of it, some of the mystique of it. Some just because they wanted a shock factor to be able to say to parents, to friends, people in the street, look at me, and they're going, ooh, and they love that. But then once that dies down and they get fed up with it, they're off. But I like to look at now, never mind the 80s, never mind what's coming. I like to look at what's now, what's happening now. Yeah, you get younger golfs coming in, no problem. You get some older golfs coming back, no problem. But also you get younger ones coming in that do find it difficult. You get some older ones that, like I said, careers, whatever in their life, sidetracked them off, and now they're thinking, that's not around anymore, I can do what the hell I like. And they want to slide back in. But they're confused in the mind, I suppose, in the sense that they go, well, can I do that now? It's alright when I was younger, can I do that now I'm older? Can I do it and be welcomed back because now I'm older? And you're too bloody old for all this now. Go away and all that sort of thing. So all that sort of thing is very special to me. And when I've done videos in the past, time and time again I've had older people that have got back to me and said, this came up at the right time, and without going into loads of details, they're going through that turmoil in the mind and comes up, you talk about it and they go, that's what I wanted to know, thank you very much for telling me, and they're off, they're back. Loads of different levels of that. I've had younger people get in touch with me that say, I've been wanting to do this but I just didn't know how to do it, I didn't know if I had the courage to do it. Thank you very much for what you've said, I'm going to give it a go. And lots of those are still there, still have a chat now and then and say, thanks for doing that. I'm here, I'm happy doing it now, and because of what you said all that time back, I'm here. So, yeah. Whether or not we buy into all the paraphernalia that's going around now, everybody seems to be pushing goth things, buying goth things, getting you to buy goth things, getting you to feel like I should buy goth things. We still have to remember that goth, initially there was a lot of DIY, the stuff wasn't there, and until it was, you DIY'd stuff, and the only reason it's here now is because somebody DIY'd it. Somebody saw something and said, they might have got a bit of leather like this, as said, sitting at home going, yeah, if I flipping do that with that, that's going to look pretty flipping neat, isn't it? And so whatever it was that they thought of at the time, they did it, and it looked good, and they wore it, and friends saw them the next week and said, flipping heck, that's flipping cool, where did you buy that from? I didn't, I made it. So they had a go because they told them how they did it. And lots of things did evolve that way. Lots of things evolved from buying things that was already there but adapted them that little bit into what we would have now. Lots of colours and everything. If you go back to the 80s, Goss wanted colours as such down the pet shop, buying studied colours and whatever. And I'm sure once you did that, you thought, I could flipping make that. So there is that DIY aspect to it. It's still there, and I think more and more goths should have a little bit of a go at it. I know lots of people say, yeah, but I'm no bloody good at DIY and that sort of thing. You don't have to be good. And like I've said in, maybe in the last video, when I'm talking about things I'm doing, like with skulls, you don't have to worry too much about that, because lots of times when you louse up, it can be good. So I get t-shirts, I buy them or I have them printed or whatever. I must admit, I haven't bought any from big name companies or anything. This one with a Viking, went into a charity shop one day, hey, got something for you, came with this. I thought, that's pretty flipping neat, I like Vikings, I like that, yeah, it'll fit in. So I've got it, like lots of t-shirts, whether I buy or whatever, give it a week, 2 weeks, couple of days, 1 day, an hour till I go and sit down, and then the scissors come out, the arms come off. But that is me. I like this style. I like it without these little sleeves. And yeah, that's not hard to do. There's always a seam there, and cut on the outside of the seam as near to it as you can, and you'll get a pretty neat seam. If you're not that clever, because I know it's not always easy to do something simple like that, and you might get it all bloody bit ski whiff, or you're out a little bit, or you're out and you're in, whatever. Doesn't matter. Wear it that day, the next time you wear it, the first time you wash it, it will sort itself out and it will go to however it wants to go, and it'll look freaking neat. But the thing is, with DIY, and why I push DIY a little bit, is because I've got no problem with what anybody wants to go and buy. You can buy it all online if you want. If you've got the money, buy it. But the more and more of us that do it, the more and more we start looking like clones. Imagine if I wore this and everybody goes, bloody hell, I like that, that's the style I want, which I know a lot of goths are not. They all go out and buy it. Couple of weeks time, there's loads of clones walking around, and if I had my beard like this, I think, well, I'll have a beard like that to go with that. And then, oh yeah, but I love the sort of earrings that he wears that go with that. Yeah, I'll do that as well. Tell you what, I like my golf stuff, but I'm going to buy a freaking kilt, because sometimes I'm going to go out in a kilt and all that as well. See how we start becoming clones of each other. DIY, yes, people will pick it up. So if you do a DIY project, some people will go, wow, I like that DIY idea, and they will go for it, but they will use that DIY idea in other materials, other designs, t-shirts that are probably slightly different, probably collars down here, whatever. So it won't be so flipping cloney, and we can become very cloned, and when we become very cloned, that's when we start getting stereotyped, and that's when older people think, can I really come in again? Because they're looking at stereotype, and maybe stereotype they were when they were younger, and thinking, I can't flipping do that now. And some of it you can't, because if you're older, like I'm a lot older, if I do some of the stereotype, I'm going to look freaking dickhead. So you can't. You can't. It's like with lots of fashion, you don't really want to be a 30-year-old wearing 15-year-old clothing. You have to adapt, and if there isn't anything to adapt to, bloody adapt it yourself. But and then you get the younger ones that are coming in that look at all this, and yes, some will have parents that will say, buy what you want, son or daughter. You get some that got pretty good jobs that can buy a lot of that, whatever. It's fine. But if at the beginning you get the dream of, yes, it's goth, but you can be different. You don't all. I always use this person as an example, and I'm going to flipping use it again today. I'm going to say Edward Scissorhands, because it's a style everybody knows. Hello, and that happens all the time. So whether that's a goth style or not doesn't matter. It's a style. If you all dress like that, then you'll become eventually fish in a goldfish bowl. Or you can adapt, and you can take that style and you can change the style, you can do whatever, and you look different, and people notice difference. And so I can go to town and I can go with my adapting things, my DIY, whatever, but it doesn't stop people knowing who you are. So I get, especially older people, know straight away what you are. If they don't tell you or ask you, they will put it around to you. Ah, my daughter's goth, straight away. They know, they're talking about goth. So you don't have to worry because something doesn't look stereotypical. There's lots more things that make someone goth than stereotypical, and all of us buying expensive stuff to look stereotypical. Some things, I grant you, if you've got a pair of Demonias or New Rocks or something, I'm not saying go out and get a leather jacket, cut it up and make yourself a pair of boots or something. It's not that freaking simple. But saying that, I have got before cheap work boots, and I'll put screws in the sole all the way around. I'll add bits to it, whatever. Look totally flipping different at the end of the day. So if you use your mind, you can do that. So, like I said, wear what you want. Be a little bit DIY, buy the average type of goth attire, whatever. Spend as much as you want on it, but if you want to look that like what I call stereotypical, keep the mind in the right place, because whether people want to argue the point with me or not, you can let your mind wander and go elsewhere, and your mind gets stereotypical and it goes along a blinkered path of that's all you see. You just see the expensive, fancy clothing, and then anybody else that does anything or wears something totally different or a little bit cheaper, that's when people get into the realms of, what the hell's that you're wearing? What's that? What's that? That's bloody cheap, isn't it? Oh, let them sit over there, let us sit here. We start getting into that realm, and I see it all the time. Out of goths that I probably meet in the street that I wouldn't have a lot to say about are stereotypical with the bought gear. I've come across lots in the street that I don't know, I just come across that I've had a chat to, we have a chat, we have a bit of a laugh, go our own ways, and they've always been either younger goths or older ones that are just doing the best. You know what they are. They want to come and talk to you, they want you to be talking to them, and you both have this attitude of we're the same family. And whether or not that person's got the money to buy all the gear, they've probably just got black jeans, black t-shirt, one pendant on or something, but you know what they are. And just to make it a little bit different, they could have eye makeup, they might have their hair in a certain way or something, but it's very basic, but you know what they are, and that's all you need. I've come across many times, and I'm going to say that it's happened every time. I've been walking in town and I see goths coming, generally a couple, stereotypical, the goth hair, the goth clothing, the goth long coat, the goth new rocks, the goth this, the goth that. They come walking along, nothing. You might as well be invisible, just they don't see you, so you're not part of their subculture, not part of their life, nothing. They'll walk along and just pretend you don't exist, because you are not cloning them. And if you had all the gear that they've got, good chance they are going to flip and go, oh, hi. It's no bloody good. And I often think you're going to be the people that go home, come online, and they're moaning because of how people their attitude towards them, they never talk to them, or they say this to them, or they say that to them. But you're going to get it because that's the way you act. I don't find that. I find people want to talk, people want to get to know you, whether they're goth or not. Now when I'm in town, I come across ordinary people, that are really nice and they want something to do with you. They want to talk, they want to smile, they want to have a bit of joke, whatever. I come across other subcultures, and we'll talk about metal, bikers, whatever. They come along, they see you, straight away, high fives. If they're too far away, it's signals to you, big smiles, hey, how are you? Blah. Now, if different subcultures are doing it to each other, what the hell is it with goths not acknowledging another goth? And the only thing I can put it down to is putting yourself on a lofty stool, and that can happen because you just buy, and you listen, take note in this little channel, and the goth world is out there. And I've often said online there's some bloody lovely goths. Some have got thousands of followers, but really nice goths. But then there's some goths online that have got 5 followers, maybe less, that if you take the time to go and look at some of the videos, say a couple of things, get a couple of things back, beautiful, bloody, fantastic people, just haven't had that break to be going forward. And that's what I'm saying, how we can get stuck in a flipping rut. So one, if you see YouTubers with very few subscribers, have a look at the videos, see what they've got to say. Never mind whether they're outlandishly dressed or whatever. Go and listen to them, because they have a voice, and some of their voices are bloody wonderful. They're the ones that will take goth forward, and they'll take it into the future, and you just pray that they're not going to be knocked off that road they're on and follow this other one, because the road they're on is a flipping marvellous one. So yeah, this isn't so much about saying to people, don't wear this, don't wear that, don't even advertise some of it. I mean, for goodness sake, don't 100% do advertising, because it does get boring, and you can have lots of followers, but they can be following for lots of different reasons. So yeah, stay on a decent bloody pathway. Try not to clone too much. Yeah, buy expensive stuff. I'd imagine always buy something that's expensive, and we'll buy stuff that's cheap, and lots of us will wear stuff or carry stuff or whatever that where you see something and think, hang on, if I do that to that, I'm going to have that anyway. So yeah, some things, in fact, I don't think, none of that jewellery cost me the earth, because you just don't go to a bloody company that's selling the goth stuff and gonna say, hey, look at this, 50 quid, when you can go somewhere else and get it for flipping £5. You know, use your noggin. So yeah, I'm gonna bugger off now, but I just want people to think about it. If you've got a channel, don't push everything on to people so that they become clones, because end of the day it destroys. Being clones destroys. nothing exciting in being a clone. If you all went to town, you've all been following each other, 250 of you. You've all seen what you're all buying online from the big stores. So you all go and buy it, then you all meet up and you go, you know what it's like when you meet up, you want people going, hey, I love that you wear. Hey, I like that. Where can I get that? Imagine 250 of you all turning up and looking the frickin' same. It's a bit frickin' downheartening, isn't it? Nothing wrong with being different. Nothing wrong being a little bit cheaper. Goth isn't about that. Somehow it's this surface that's bloody appearing. Let's keep it down here. Let's keep real. So, bottoms up my old fruits. Everybody copy me and start drinking this freaking stuff, will you? No, and I'm not advertising somebody. Have fun. I'm going to go on the internet and look for all those goodies. No, I'm not really. But, yeah, my last words to all that is, be different. It's what the beginning of goth is all about, in a way. Music, some style, being different to other people. Be different, be unique, and as I said in another video, bang your own drum and march to the beat of your own drum. Be bloody unique. Be goth, be different, stand out, and when you're out there and other goths are saying to you, bloody hell, I like that, where did you get that? I want one of them. And you've had a hand in creating it, that's when you know you're getting somewhere. Catch you later.